You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land, all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County, 59 degrees already. I was outside, it's beautiful, going up to a high of 74. Gonna be even more amazing. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your Tuesday. Yes, baby, it's Taco Tuesday for some of you, not for me. I mean, I probably could go for tacos. Did I tell you I went to this place called, I think, Tequila and Tacos or Tacos and Tequila? Anyway, I like the food. I love the atmosphere. I've been there 3 times and I'll go again because I like listen, I like games. So they got cornholes, they got Connect 4 outside, they got fire pits, they got heating units, really nice. So even if you have to wait, because I can just imagine, like we went the other day, we had to wait. But I can just imagine what the summer is going to be like. It's going to be crazy. And you're going to have to wait. So if you're waiting, you can play games and stuff like that outside, which I thought that was a really cool touch. Because if you got to wait, at least you're busy or you watching the kids play. It's really cool. But anyway, that was beautiful. So it's Taco Tuesday. And I don't know, my husband and I, we might go get us a taco or two because it is Taco Tuesday today. Today is also Talk Business Tuesday. I'm either talking business or talking tech. Today I'm talking business. And I got to tell y'all, I'm having so much fun right now. As a matter of fact, I'm just having fun with business. I'm having fun with all these new AI tools that's out. I'm just having a great time, y'all. So today the topic is newsletters are making a comeback. I'm talking about in a major way. I remember the very first newsletter I wrote, I published, it was called Friends of Mine. It was a paper newsletter. I would get on my computer, I would type it up every month. And here's the crazy part. I had people advertising in that newsletter. It was called Friends of Mine. It was catered towards people, and mostly men, who like BBW women, big beautiful women, right? Because that's what I am, a big beautiful woman. And the newsletter was called Friends of Mine. And I went around and asked people, did they want to advertise in the newsletter? And that was crazy because it was only $20. But that was enough for me. I think I had about 4 or 5 ads in there. And I had a job. Like I had 2 jobs at the time, as a matter of fact. So money wasn't an issue, but I wanted to use somebody else's money to print it off. And so I would use my advertising dollars and print it off. And then I would just go and put it in libraries. I used to put a lot of stuff in libraries because, believe it or not, there used to be community tables where you could leave stuff. And people go to libraries to read, right? So I would go to the library, put out the newsletter, and then, matter of fact, I might do a 1-page newsletter for my newsletter. That'd be nice. Go put out newsletters, and then I would do it all over again the next month. What happened was, in the interim, Microsoft came out with a program called Desktop Publishing. And oh my goodness, when they came out with Desktop Publishing, it was on and popping. Now I could create really cute newsletters. So I've been in this space when I think about it now, I've been doing this type of media stuff since 1995. That's a long time. And I didn't think about it until like right now. And I know I've been doing audio media because I was on the radio I started in 2003. What is this? 21 years in that. I've been publishing since 95. So I've been doing media for a long time. So I've seen it grow. I've seen it expand. I've seen it change. I've seen it shut down. I've seen it reopen. And that's why today I felt like I needed to talk about these newsletters. So I do a newsletter every Monday for the Gwinnett Women's Chamber called GWC Weekly. And I put that out every Monday. It comes out every Monday morning at 6 a.m. It talks about what we got going on at the chamber, what events we got coming up, welcoming new people, chamber news, stuff like that. So that's in that newsletter, right? So that's the newsletter. But I wanted a newsletter for this show. And I was like, okay, maybe I could just call it Good Morning Gwinnett, which I could have just called it Good Morning Gwinnett, which I did not do that. I call it the Gwinnett Morning Spark. And the reason I called it that, so just to tell y'all, I launched a new newsletter. It's called the Gwinnett Morning Spark, S-P-A-R-K. The reason I did that is because this is a morning show, and I wanted a newsletter that was community-based. I wanted a newsletter, kind of like the podcast, community-based. But I wanted one that made you feel inspired when you open it up to read it. So I created these songs. When I tell y'all I'm having a good time, I got 3 of the songs that I created. I'm going to play them on the show this morning. So I created a song. So there's going to be a new song in the newsletter every day. So the newsletter is going to be published Monday through Friday. It comes out every morning at 6 a.m., which I had so much fun doing the newsletter yesterday. I was like, this is fun, right? Because it was like really trying to like figure out what I wanted to go in there. I want it to be an inspirational tool. So when people wake up early in the morning to get their day started, they start off feeling inspired. So I call it the Gwinnett Morning Spark. And I was like, this is the newsletter, Gwinnett Morning Spark. And I'm excited to see what I can do with that. Just like I'm excited about this show, I'm excited to see what I can do with that. So that's exciting. So newsletters are making a comeback, and I think this is what happened. So there was these guys. One guy was the publisher of a newsletter called The Morning Brew. And that newsletter was so successful, it got bought for like tens of millions of dollars. Then another guy came behind him and started a newsletter called The Hustle. Same thing, got acquired for millions of dollars. And then people just started saying, wait a minute, hold on, wait a second. This newsletter thing is taking off. Now, here's why I think that's important. And here's why I think it's going to be really, like, I feel like I love Good Morning Gwinnett. I love doing this show. I probably will never stop doing it. I'm probably just going to expand a little bit further. But when I think of the power of a newsletter, I feel like it has more power. Now, what I will be doing is incorporating Good Morning Gwinnett, the podcast, inside of the Gwinnett Morning Spark so people can listen to past episodes. That's what I will be doing. But here's why I think this is so important. When you have a newsletter, you actually own the audience, right? You have their emails, you have their names because they have subscribed. You own the audience. With my podcast, people can subscribe, but I don't have those emails. You know, if they subscribe on Apple, Apple has the emails. If they subscribe on Spreaker, Spreaker has the emails. If they subscribe on Spotify, Spotify has the emails. They have my emails. So I don't really have access to those. And that's the crazy part when you think about it. If you go over and start a YouTube channel, great, you see your subscribers, but Google and YouTube own those names. You don't have access to the names. You don't know who the people are who subscribe to you unless they say, hey, I just subscribed to your channel. Here's my email, and you take it that way. They're not sharing that information with you. You can sell a book on Amazon, right? You get the money, you get the royalty from the book, but guess what? You don't know who purchased the book. You have no name, no address, no email, no telephone. You have nothing. Let me say that again. We are all on these platforms, me included, because you hear me talking to you right now in this podcast. I don't own the data from this podcast. I can go in and see my numbers, but I can't tell you who they are. I can tell you whether they were in India or Colombia or Venezuela or Peru. I can tell you that, but I can't tell you where in Venezuela. I can't tell you where in Peru. I can't tell you where in Colombia. I can't tell you their names. I can't tell you their email. I can't tell you anything about them except for somebody in that part of the world listen to my show today. That's it. When you have a newsletter, which is, I could just kick myself sometimes because remember what I said. I started publishing a print newsletter back in like 95, right? Yes, I'm really dating myself. But then I had an online newsletter, and I remember putting out inspiration. I've been doing this, y'all, for a long time. It came right around probably 97, 98. I put out a newsletter all the time talking about business, right? It was a business, digital. This was digital. Now I went to digital. AOL was hot. And then all of a sudden we had Yahoo. So I had a Yahoo account. After AOL had a Yahoo account. I'm really dating myself, right? So I had a Yahoo account. But then I realized whatever you're going to do, you need to have your domain name in the name of your email. So I started doing that. But I had a newsletter about business that went out all the time. I own the emails. I own those names. And what was crazy is, now that I look back in hindsight, only thing people could do at that point was read the email. So I think I published my digital newsletter probably 3 or 4 years, probably 4 years. And I wasn't seeing I couldn't see engagement. So I was like, man, I'm wasting my time. But here's the thing. People couldn't talk back to me, So I stopped publishing. But at that time, I had about 3,000, a little bit over 3,000 names in my constant contact. because that's what I was using, Constant Contact. I had about 3,000 names in my Constant Contact account that I would send out this digital business newsletter to like every week. And I couldn't see where it was making any sense because it wasn't making money. So around year 3 or 4, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. The minute I stopped doing it and deleted my account from Constant Contact, somebody emailed me and said, what happened to the newsletter? I'm like, what? So the whole time I was publishing, nobody said a word. So I thought I was just wasting time and doing stuff on deaf ears, right? Sometimes I kind of like how I feel about this show until I see my report. I'm like, oh, okay, great. When it's in green, I'm excited. So I get a report every week about how well the show did. And every now and again, and I could tell when it's going to be in the red because I didn't really put a lot of thought in it. I kind of did it on the fly. So I could tell when it's not going to be like good numbers. But when I see it in green, which is most of the time, I'm like, yes, people are listening. So I can see that. I can't talk to them. I mean, versus like them listening to the show because they subscribe, so they heard it. But with the newsletter, you can, because you have emails and you can talk to them as often as you want. And you know who you're talking to because you have their first name, their last name, and their email. And it's hitting their inbox all the time. So when I closed down my first newsletter, I had closed it down. I had over 3,000 names. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know how popular newsletters or email lists or all that thing. I didn't have no clue. I had no clue about how popular those things would become. Had I known what I know now, I would have kept that. I probably would have 100,000. Because you know how many people I've met since... I think I started Constant Contact right around the time they launched. I started everything around the time it launched. And I'm going to tell y'all something else I just started. It's amazing, though. I love it. Beehive is one of them. Anyway, if I knew what I knew then, I would have done some things differently. Fast forward to today, I know a lot more than I knew then. I know a lot more about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, my purpose for doing it, and I'm enjoying every second of it. I do this podcast because I love it. On Wednesdays, I interview power players. I love that part as well. And now I have the Gwinnett Morning Spark newsletter. I think I might be even more excited about that than I was when I started the podcast because I got emails and I got names. So I launched my first issue today, had one glitch in it, and that wasn't my fault. It was like the platform fault because I dropped in a video of a song that I produced yesterday on this software that I've talked about called Suno. So if you've never heard of Suno or Suno, I call it Suno. It's SUNO.AI. I created a bunch of songs, but I got 3 of them I'm going to play for you guys this morning because I'm so excited. So every day you get a motivational song in your email newsletter. You get some content in there. And then the next day you get the same thing, a new song, new inspirational content. You know, this is my format and some things that's happening in Gwinnett County. This is my format, right? The purpose of the newsletter is to spark joy into people. I want them to get up, read the newsletter, and feel inspired every day. That's the purpose. So I launched the newsletter thinking because it makes me feel good. When I sat here yesterday, I literally sat here about 6 hours working on the newsletter, only to have one glitch. I'm like, oh man. So when it came out this morning, I saw the one glitch. The video didn't show up inside the newsletter itself, inside the email. But when you click read online, it shows up online. So that was a glitch. So I launched my newsletter, the Gwinnett Morning Spark. But here's the thing. There are some successful stories out there when it comes to newsletter. My media empire that I'm building, and yes, it's a media empire. I got the podcast, I got the video, now I got the newsletter, Noise Media Network, and all of those fall up under the umbrella of Noise Media Network. You may not want to do all of that stuff. You may just want to start a newsletter, and they are making a comeback, and I think that they're going to be even bigger than ever because I feel like I'm a little bit annoyed with how Google are doing like bloggers. So if you go to goodmorninggwinnett.com, I have a lot of content on that site. Half the time, I don't know if it's ranking because Google will go in there, they'll change the algorithms, and then I never know what's happening with the website. I got so stressed out behind the website. Like you see the website, it looks amazing. I've done all this SEO work on it. I'm making sure I got links, inner links, external links, headings, titles, all these things, right? Only for Google to actually change the algorithm, and it changes, and then it throws everybody off. So the blogging world or the online news site world, they're going nuts. They're going like, this is crazy. Like we're putting in all this work, and Google is killing us. right? They'll change something and you got to go back and try to change stuff. I was like, it's too much. And I was really stressed out about that because I'm like, I go here and I put in all this work on my news site. I do the podcast every day. I go there, I put in stuff, and then they change the algorithms because that's what they do, right? They're not there for us. They're there for Google. And I was like, okay, this makes no sense to me. So this is one of the reasons why I was prompted to start the newsletter. And that's why, and I had to come up with some names and things like that. So it stressed me out so much. I was like, okay, I took a break. I don't think I wrote anything for like 3 days because I was like, okay, every time I look around, they're changing something when it comes to the algorithm. So for those of you who don't understand what I'm talking about, when you publish a blog, and my news site is a big old giant blog. That's what it is, with about 800 pages on it, because that's how much content I put out. When you publish a blog, you have to go in there and you have to optimize the pages. So you have to do like some SEO. You got to make sure the title is good. You got to make sure you got internal links, external links. You got to make sure the headings are right. You got to make sure you got keywords in the heading, keywords in the body, not overly stuff. All of these things you have to do. So that takes me at least 2 hours every day to do that, just that part. So I'll do the show, then I go over and do an article with the show, and then I do all those things I told you about. Sometimes the title is just horrible. I can't make it get to I have to make it get to the green. So I have plugins plugged into my site to make sure the title is right, to make sure everything is right. When I get to like 85% green, because it shows me the green. When I get to 80, and it's built into my site, it's a plugin. When I get to 85% green, I hit publish, because at that point, I can't figure out how to make the title better. So I'm like, forget about it. I'm going to keep moving. I don't have an internal link on my site that will that I could connect something to on the site. So all of these things I do on a daily basis on my blog, my news blog, after I do the podcast. So I have the news blog, the podcast, the YouTube channel, and now the newsletter. I know it sounds like a lot, but remember what I said, I'm building an empire. So that stressed me out. And then I started seeing everybody talking about these newsletters. And I was like, I did newsletters back in 95. I actually made money back in 95. And I had a paper newsletter where I had to go and I printed out 100. And I had to just make sure 100 people got it, which they did. And then people advertised. They found the newsletter and they advertised. Fast forward to today, I can run an ad on Facebook myself and get millions of people checking out my newsletter and make a lot of money at the same time. So newsletters are making a comeback. I'm going to go to, so check this out. I got 3 songs that's on my playlist that I created using AI yesterday. So the first song that you're going to hear is a song that I created. It was a song that was supposed to go out in the newsletter this morning. It kind of did, but if you didn't click read online, you missed it. So I'm going to repost it tomorrow in the newsletter so people can actually listen to it. I'll post the new song that I'm going to post tomorrow, and I'll post the song that you should have heard yesterday. So check this out. So I'm going to play my song that I produced yesterday, which I'm so excited about. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you what you need to do if you're thinking about starting your own newsletter. Remember, I've been doing this forever. Now it's coming all the way back around, and I got a story to tell y'all about. So I went from newsletter to magazine, but I'll tell y'all that story when I come back. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after this song to give you more of what's happening in the world of newsletters. This is my new song, y'all, called Chasing My Destiny. Yes, the girl is chasing her destiny right now. I produced this song. I'm so excited. I know some artists are like, that song sucks. For me, it's exciting because I'm not a producer like that, but AI changes things, and I have created this song. Here you go. I'll be right back after the song.
Got a fire in my soul, a dream I can't ignore. Gonna step out in this world to be something more. No more standing still, it's time to take a leap. Gotta chase my destiny, it's mine to keep. Gonna break them all, gonna shine so bright. Gonna stand tall, gonna reach new heights. Can't let fear and doubt hold me down no more. Gotta spread my wings, gotta soar. Every step I take, closer to my dream. Gonna ride this wave, gonna follow the streams. Through the ups and the downs, gonna stay strong. Won't let negativity distract me for long. so bright. Gonna stand tall, gonna reach new heights. Yeah, let fear and doubt hold me down no more. Gotta spread my wings, gotta soar. Every step I take, closer to my dream. Gonna ride this wave, gonna follow the streams. Through the ups and the downs, gonna stay strong. Won't let negativity distract me for long. Craving something that I can't define. A restless hunger deep inside. Lost in shadows of my own mind, begging for release. I'm trapped in time. Tangled thoughts, twisted desires, burning fire that never dies. Searching for meaning in this chaos, but all I find are shattered dreams, a loss. Haunted by demons I can't escape. In the darkness I can't find my shape. Clawing my way through this endless abyss. Gonna break the mold, gonna shine so bright. Gonna stand tall, gonna reach new heights. Can't let fear and doubt hold me down no more. Gotta spread my wings, gotta soar. Gotta break the mold, gonna shine so bright. Gonna stand tall, gonna reach new heights. Can't let fear and doubt hold me down no more. Gotta spread my wings, gotta soar.
Listen, listen, listen. That song is hot. I don't care what nobody say. I love that song. So that's one of my songs I produced yesterday. So that's what goes out into the newsletter. An inspiring song every day. Welcome back, y'all. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, talking about why newsletters are making a comeback and talking about how you can integrate all this stuff inside of the newsletter. Like that song, Chasing My Destiny, was a song that I produced yesterday using freaking AI. Y'all know I love playing music on the show. That's the first thing. So that's the first thing right there. I'm expanding this show. This show is going to be expanded. It's going to have pretty much all of my music on it. I'm super duper, ooper excited about that. Chasing My Destiny. I like that song. I like that song. I got another one for y'all too. I'll play after this. But listen, I want to talk to you about your newsletter. So here's a thought, right? So I have been looking at newsletters. Everybody's talking about they're making a comeback and they're doing really well. They're not just making a comeback, they're making a killing. People making tens. I'm talking about one newsletter sold for like $75 million. Now, granted, they put in a lot of work to get there. They also had investment dollars and things like that. But I came across this guy. His name was Ryan. And Ryan said, he does a newsletter. He makes almost $500,000 a year from his newsletter. He has a couple of writers that are independent contractors that work with him. And I was like, his newsletter is a local newsletter. So he lives in Annapolis, Maryland, and his newsletter is only about his city. It's not even, I got the whole damn county. I got the Gwinnett Morning Spark, right? So I got the whole county, but that's because I do Good Morning Gwinnett, and it made sense for me. His is called the Naptown Scoop. Naptown. So Annapolis. So it's called Naptown Scoop. And he just talks about really fun things around Annapolis. And I was like, I like that. Now, what's going to happen is I kind of want to model that for Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County is huge. We have 16 towns in Gwinnett County. So that means that every day I have to leave my house and come back with the greatest stuff that I need to put inside my newsletter. And that's my plan. My plan is I wanted something that was going to force me to get out the house. I wanted it to be still tied to my community. So that's why it has Gwinnett in the title, the Gwinnett Morning Spark. I wanted it to be tied to this show. So I was tying everything in together. Now, if you're thinking about starting a newsletter, this is what I would say. If you have an expertise in a space, like I don't care how rare you think it is, that could be a great market for you. So if you are a person and all you do all day long is cut the nails of dogs at the vet place or the dog grooming place, your job is to cut the nails of dogs, right? Here's what you will find. I guarantee you that is a niche, but I guarantee you have cut so many dog nails that there's things that you can tell us about each one of those dogs. What they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, what kind of food they should be eating so their nails don't grow this certain way, how often you should. I'm guaranteeing that people that love their dog will read their newsletter. You hear what I'm saying? So it may sound crazy to you, but it's a niche. The reason Ryan is so successful with his newsletters, now he's branching out to do other ones all around the United States. That's too much work for me. Gwinnett County has 16 towns. I don't have to go to no other state to do anything. All I got to do is work my way around this county. That's enough. But if you're saying, I like this idea, Audrey, I have a specialized talent in whatever that is. And I kept saying, well, how are they growing the newsletter? Because that was my thing. How are they growing this newsletter? Well, is when I tell y'all simple blew my mind, everybody that I saw who did not have investment money, like somebody gave them money to invest into the newsletter so they can hire writers and hire marketing, they were like, we run Facebook ads. I was like, that can't be just it. When it comes to marketing their newsletters, pretty much every newsletter, and I've been studying newsletters since the idea came to me and I saw it. Everybody was like, the easy way to do it is just run Facebook ads. And I'm like, what? Here's the thing about Facebook ads. You can reach 100 people a day probably with $2. And if 10% of those people, listen to this, if you spend $2 a day on an ad, that's $60 a month, right? And I know somebody goes, that's not gonna make a difference. It is gonna make a difference. Because if you reach 100 people in a day and 10 of those people subscribe, by the end of that month, you have 300 subscribers on your newsletter. Let me say it one more time because somebody missed it. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. If you start your newsletter in whatever industry that is, right, and you run an ad, and let's say all you got or can afford is $2 a day, you're going to reach at least 100 people for $2 a day. If 10 of those people out of that 100 subscribe to your newsletter, by the end of 30 days, you have 300 new subscribers. If that works, you just rinse and repeat and keep it going. By the end of the year, you have 3,600 subscribers. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but when you double that in year 2, oh, baby, they're coming for you and they're bringing money. Here's the other thing to that. You may have 3,600 subscribers, right? But let's say there are 3,600 active subscribers. They're writing back to you. They're liking the newsletter. They're sharing the newsletter. That number could double in that year. It could triple in that year because if you're putting out a good newsletter and that person has at least 2 friends in the industry that you're publishing in, they can share that newsletter and those 2 friends now become subscribers to your newsletter. So from that 1 subscriber, you now have 3. So you paid Google, you paid Facebook $60. You just got 300 subscribers in a month. They each shared it with 2 people. Guess what that means? That month, that means that you just got another that's 600 people that just came in that you didn't pay for, right? Now that 600 comes in, and I know I'm making this sound simple, but I'm telling y'all what I believe could happen. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk about it because maybe I make Tuesday Talk Newsletter Tuesday. I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna run a Facebook ad. I'm gonna run it for probably $300 a month. I'm gonna spend a little bit more money than $60 because I want it to grow fast. And then I'm gonna keep putting out great content. And that's how you do it. Nobody said anything different outside of the people who took on investment dollars. Everybody pretty much said the same thing. Oh, just run Facebook ads. And then I'm like, that can't be it. That was it, y'all. So when Ryan talked about his newsletter, which is specifically to the town, notice I didn't say the county, the town that he lived in, all he did, he said, was put out great content and run ads back to the newsletter. Now his town has about, I think he said his town has 50,000 people that live in it. 15,000 of those people subscribe to his newsletters. And he makes almost $500,000 a year. And I'm like, what? So to me, that was like a clear no-brainer. The hardest part about what I'm doing right now is getting my format down pat, getting my content down pat, because I want to make sure that every day people know they're going to get a song, they're going to get an inspiring article, they're going to get some tips on your best life, they're going to get impact, and then they're going to find out what we're doing this week in Gwinnett County. That's how it's like. I didn't need something that was going to stress me out too much. I just want to make sure, and I'm known for blowing everything up way bigger than it normally is. That's who I am. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to keep it simple and manageable. I can tell you I'm enjoying every second. I spent yesterday making music. I think I spent yesterday, once I figured out what I wanted to put in yesterday's issue that came out this morning at 6 o'clock, I spent most of the time making songs. And I was loving every second of it. So speaking of making songs, I'm going to go to my second song that I made. It's called Respect My Hustle. And then I'm going to come back and give you a little bit more before I close out. Okay? So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Oh, that groove. Yeah, it's all about the hustle. Early mornings, late nights, chase the lights. I'm on a mission, got my dreams in sight. Coffee in my cup, determination in my heart. I'm grinding from the end right back to the start. Sidewalks to boardrooms, I wear my scars. Each one a lesson, got me reaching for the stars. So respect my hustle, it's my work of art. Crafted with passion, straight from the heart. Respect my hustle, it's all I breathe. My path to success and what I believe. Smooth like a rhythm, tough like the street. Feel that bass move to my heartbeat. I've seen the paths of the cold rain, but my resolve turns loss into gain. Building dreams like an architect, each brick a story, perfect and select. Watch me rise, I'm setting the pace. In every challenge I find my grace. Harmony and hustle blend like a song. In this life's chorus I belong. My path to success and what I believe. Smooth like a rhythm, tough like a street. Feel that bass move to my heartbeat. I've seen the depths of the cold rain, but my resolve turns lost into gain. Building dreams like an architect, each brick a story, perfect and select. Watch me rise, I'm setting the pace. In every challenge I find my grace. Harmony and hustle blend like a song. In this life's chorus I belong. Step my hustle, live for I breathe. My path to success and what I believe. Smooth like the rhythm, tough like the street. Feel that bass move to my heartbeat. Let this hustle feel the groove. In every beat my life I prove. Catch the rhythm, catch the style. Walk a mile in my shoes, stay a while.
Welcome back, welcome back. Respect my hustle, baby. Listen, I'm having so much fun, y'all. I am having so much fun doing this show, doing these songs. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to do with the songs. So, I have a channel that I created on YouTube called Audrey AI, where I was supposed to be talking about AI, but I was like, everybody's talking about AI. I'm going to turn that into a music channel with all my songs. And every day, because I'm putting out a newsletter every single day, I'm going to add a new song every single day to the news channel, to the YouTube channel. And with the lyrics, because I want people to sing along with the songs. And so I'm so excited. Now, y'all might be saying, why is that important? Well, because here's the thing. I love music. Music is one of the things that bring us together. I don't care what kind of music. And I give you a prime example. Go to TikTok. There's a song on there called the Tawala something or another. the song is in African language. It's in an African language. Nobody knows what it is. You see everybody dancing to the song. I don't care what race, color, everybody is dancing to that song. Nobody knows the words but the person that's singing it and the person that understands the language. Music brings us together. And I like music. Hence is why I've been playing music in this show for about 5.5 years. Because I like music. Now I'm super excited because all the music you hear pretty much moving forward is going to be my own original music. So I will be making songs and you'll be hearing my songs on here. I'm expanding the show to online radio because Spreaker has said they won't be doing live after December, so I have to pivot. I'm going to online radio. You'll still be able to hear me, and I'm excited about that. So these songs go on my newsletter every morning. Now listen, I know somebody's going, I'm going to do the same thing. If you're not going to, I'm a committed person. Hence is why right now I'm at almost 1,100 episodes of this show. I'm committed to my dream. Oh, I need to write that down. That needs to be a song. Ooh. Committed to the dream, baby. Let me write that down. That's going to be a song. I might play that tomorrow. Committed to the dream. Ooh, child. I'm in rare form this morning. That's because I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. That's going to be a song tomorrow. Watch. That's going to be the first song I play on the show tomorrow. If you're not going to make the commitment, don't waste time. Right? I know I'm committed to what I'm doing, so I'm not wasting any time. I love Good Morning Gwinnett. I do it every day, so that tells you right there I'm committed. If you're going to do the newsletter, you may not want to do it like me. I do this show 4 days a week live, right? 4 days a week. I've been doing it like that for 6 years almost. It brings me joy. I fell into a funk when I came back in January from PodFest, and my hosting company, which is Spreaker, said we're no longer doing live after December. I'm like, what? So I started to go to video, and I was trying to do live video every day. That doesn't work for me. For like a week, I didn't do any shows because I was stressing myself out like, oh my God, now I got to get up and do live video every day. That wasn't working for me the way I needed it to work for me. I wasn't excited about that, so I didn't do anything for a week. With this newsletter, I'm super excited. I can't wait to do it. Like, I wanted to start doing it this morning, and I was like, nope, because if I start doing it this morning, which I did kind of, that's why I was like 3.5 minutes late. If I start, it's going to take me off my game. But I'm excited about that. Now, if you're going to start a newsletter, you might want to follow the show. I think every Tuesday, I'm going to talk about my journey in building this newsletter. So today was the first issue that went out. It's called the Gwinnett Morning Spark. I probably need to drop a note in the show notes. Well, as a matter of fact, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com after this show, and it'll be a sign-up form over there for you to sign up to the newsletter. So that way you can get on the newsletter and follow what I'm doing. If you're thinking about starting your own newsletter, I want you to think about these things. What will your newsletter be about? I could say that there's another newsletter that I'm probably going to start later on. Not yet, but there's another one. And I have it already laid out. But it's about something I want to learn about, right? So I have to do a lot of research. And I was going to start that one first, but I was like, yeah, that's going to take too much research. It's going to take a lot of time. And I'm going to need one extra person to help me do that. I found the person that's going to help me do it. And that newsletter is going to be pretty cool. But I'm going to learn a lot from that newsletter because I don't know a lot about that space, right? So if you're thinking about starting a newsletter, first think about what you know. You know, if you know something specific, if you are a dentist, if you are a chef, if you work at a school, if you work at a car wash, if you work in a dog park, whatever, there's something that you know, something that you can build a newsletter around. And if you think there isn't, I tell you what you do. The thing that you know, right? Go over to ChatGPT, type in, and I always do this because I try to make it simple for people. Go to ChatGPT and type in, create me 52 titles for my 52 subjects for my newsletter that's going out. The name of my newsletter is going to be whatever it is. Dog park walking, right? That could be the name of the newsletter. Tell ChatGPT, create me 52 topics around dog park walking. I guarantee you ChatGPT is going to give you 52 titles. Why did I say 52? Because if you're going to do your newsletter, you need to put out at least one issue a week. Me, crazy me, I'm putting out one a day. All right? And I'm going to have fun doing mine. Putting out one a day. I've laid it out in a way that I know I can manage it. I laid it out in a way that I know no matter what happens, I can put in an hour, 2 hours into getting it done. Even if I have to get up 4 o'clock the morning before it goes out, so to get out at 6, I know I can do that. Even if I'm traveling somewhere and I need to do it on my phone because I don't have my laptop, I can do it, right? Because I made the structure so simple that I know I can do it. So find your topic. Go over to Google, go over to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, give me some topics on what I can do in this space. It's going to give you them 52 topics, and then you just take those topics and then you start to do your newsletter. Now, what I will say is, after you do the one main topic, find like 3 or 4 other topics that can go along with that article in the newsletter, right? So what I've done is, I know that I'm playing a song, an inspirational song. I have an inspirational article. I have inspiration. I'm going to have like a meme in there. I'm going to have another something to help you improve who you are. I don't have that yet. That's something I'm going to add now. And that's it. You know, and then I have what's happening in Gwinnett this week. And then at the bottom, it's going to be the people that's going to sponsor the show. Like when they sponsor the show, I call them Spark Nation. When Spark Nation starts to sponsor the show, their logos or their names will go in the bottom of the newsletter with a link back to their website or their Instagram page or their Facebook page. And I'm not even trying to rob people on that. It's like $99 a month. You're going to be at the bottom though. Now, you ain't going to be at the top. The top is reserved for the premium advertisers. Why? Because I'm looking at everybody's newsletter and that's what they got. They got the top, they got the middle. Then they got this one section right before the last article, maybe, and whatever. So you got 3 sections that's prime real estate, and then at the bottom, it's like your friends, and they're at the bottom, holding you up. They're the foundation holding you up. And so for me, if you have a business and you want to advertise in the Gwinnett Morning Spark, it's $99 a month, and you talking about 5 days. I know that's way too cheap. That's an introductory offer, because that's probably gonna change. But right now it's $99. So what are you going to talk about? The other thing is, how often are you going to put the newsletter out? If you want to make a dent in this space, you got to put it out at least a week. If you can squeeze out 2 days, squeeze out 2. I'm not going to tell you to do like I do because I'm used to doing stuff daily. I'm used to putting out content daily because I do this show almost daily. I'm not going to tell you to do that. But I am going to tell you to commit to at least once a week. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is to check out the platform that I'm using. It's called Beehive. Beehiiv. Beehive. I like that platform for a bunch of different reasons. And I haven't even dug deep into the platform. 1, it helps you promote your newsletter. 2, it helps you make money from other newsletters that's already publishing on the platform. 3, you can build in a subscription. 4, you can have links out to other things. Like I'm putting a store on mine right now. It's a store, so people can go and do print on demand and buy stuff from me, and I don't have to do nothing but just put my newsletter out. Let me tell y'all something. I already know this is gonna be a game changer for me. I already know it because it has so many built-in pieces to it, and all I gotta do is run Facebook ads. All I gotta do is boost my newsletter inside of Beehive, because Beehive has this function, this feature that says boost your newsletter. So I can literally boost the newsletter inside of Beehive to people who already read newsletters. It's kind of like podcasting. They always tell you the best show to get on is another show about podcasting. Because guess what? People on that show listen to podcasts. That makes sense, right? Because now you want to bring them back over to your show and listen to your podcast. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. So what you're going to talk about in your newsletter, figure out the structure. You know, you don't have to have a whole lot. Like I got a lot in mind. It's not a lot, but it's probably going to end up with about 4 or 5. It has about 4 or 5 different sections right now. I'm probably going to add 3 more sections because I want it to be an impactful newsletter, but I also want it to be fun and exciting. And I want people to be ready to open up the new one the next day. So what are you going to talk about? How often you're going to put it out? Commit to at least once a week. If you find that that's going to be hard, then don't. Commit to at least once a week on one specific day. GWC newsletter comes out every Monday morning at 6 a.m. I make sure that sometime between Saturday and Sunday night, that newsletter has everything that needs to go in. And this was a good issue right here. Now I can tell you, I like Beehive, but the layout wasn't as great as my layout I got for GWC. I'm like, yeah, this is gorgeous. Like, that newsletter was gorgeous. And I'm like, oh, but the platform that I use for the GWC newsletter does not offer all of the benefit and features that Beehive offers for newsletter publishers. So I'm not worried about that for my GWC newsletter, GWC Weekly, because that's not for me to make money. That's for me to stay in contact with the 3,000 something people that's on that list. Yes, like 3,000. And that I'm growing that list. But stay in touch with them and let them know what's happening with the chamber. So that's not something that I will be looking to sell. I probably won't be looking to sell Gwinnett Morning Spark either, unless they buy the entire thing and they're gonna give me like $25 million. So yeah, I got it. At least when people are making $10 million just on the newsletter, if you come to me and talk about, hey, I want to buy your AI music channel, I want to buy your Good Morning Gwinnett podcast, I want to buy your newsletter, yeah, you're gonna have to drop me like $25 million. That's it, because I gotta pay $5 million to taxes or more, or $10 million. I need to still be a millionaire once I do all that. So I need $25 million just in case you decided. However, that's not something I'm looking to do right now. I'm just having fun. All right, how often? What topic? How often? What day? That needs to be decided to. What goes in your newsletter? Pick your format and all of that. Now you got to make a small investment. Beehive charges I want to say it's $39 a month. I think I got the biggest plan, which is $99. And the reason I got the largest plan is because it allows me to create 3 newsletters on that one plan. And so I told you I have another one that I'm going to release too, that I think is going to be just as well. Not as fun as the Gwinnett Morning Spark, but very impactful in our community and our world. So I'm excited about that one. So check out Beehive. I'm going to drop some links over on Good Morning Gwinnett website to that, so you can go in there and check it out. But check out Beehive. I think it's one of the better platforms out there. I'm gonna make Tuesday. This series is gonna be about this newsletter business that I'm launching that goes in connections with this show. So next Tuesday I'll be telling you what I did. So this Tuesday, today I launched the first issue of the Gwinnett Morning Spark. I found one glitch that I made, which I was trying to embed the video inside the newsletter, because I wanted people to, when they open up the newsletter, they can click the link and watch the video. That didn't happen. It was a blank space there, a big one. I'm like, oh man, a big blank space. But when you hit read online, then the video popped up. So that has to be fixed. Now I know I can't do that, because it had an embed code inside a Beehive. I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to embed it. When I looked at it in the test preview, it showed. Me not knowing, when you actually send out the email newsletter to people's email, it does not show. So it did not show. So that has to be fixed. So I'll be back. I'm going to go to my last song that I made yesterday. I don't know if I like this one as much. I can't remember what it was, though. I know Chasing My Destiny I love. This one is called Potential. I'm going to go to my last song called Potential, and then I'm going to come back and give you my words of inspiration for the day. So stay tuned.
Yeah, potential. Step into the light, can't you see? You've got everything you need. Born to shine, born to lead. Break all the chains, you were meant to be free. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. Is it a star full of dreams and possibilities? Don't hold back, let your heart believe. You're more powerful than you ever conceived. Upbeat with a catchy melody. Your potential is infinite, beyond all limits. Reach for the stars, yeah, grab them every minute. Every step you take, potential is infinite, beyond all limits. Reach for the stars, yeah, grab 'em every minute. Every step you take leads to new heights. Believe in yourself, light up your life. Believe in yourself, light up your life. Your potential is infinite. Reach for the stars, yeah, grab 'em every minute. Every step you take leads to new heights. Believe in yourself, light up your life.
Welcome back, welcome back. That's my other song, Potential. I tell you, boy, I tell you, I'm loving it. They're not perfect yet, y'all, but trust me, it's going to be great. And I'm sitting here thinking about them, like, okay, I need to create different kind. So what happens is with Suno, it gives you a video to go with the song. So you have the option to download the audio and the video. And I like that, but I think I need to create my own videos for my songs to put on my Audrey AI Music channel. Yes, Audrey AI Music channel, child. Audrey AI Music channel. And I got to go back and rebrand that whole channel. And I'm just so excited. It's so exciting because to have this show, to have now my AI Music channel, to have the newsletter, I'm just really excited. And I want you guys to be excited. So my words of inspiration today is, don't be afraid to start something. Yes, is it going to be a hard work? Absolutely. But don't be afraid to start something. Yes, will you have to make sacrifices? Yes, you will. But don't be afraid to start something. You know, will it take up a lot of your times? Yup. But don't be afraid to start something. Will you lose friends behind it? Yes. But don't be afraid to start something, because true friends are always there, no matter what. Don't be afraid to step out on faith and live your dreams. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of what people are going to say. They think it's crazy. Do you think I care about what people... Someone emailed me, texted me yesterday, and they were supposed to be joining me doing something, and they kind of backed out, which I was like, wow, that sucks. But they backed out because they said to me, I don't want to bring drama to what you're doing, because someone they felt was kind of like, I guess, a threat to them. And I was like, look, I don't have time to worry about what people are saying and what they're doing, right? As long as they're not physically touching me, my family, or my friends, we're good. Talk and do whatever you want to say. Do whatever you want to say, because I have a vision that God has given me, and I have to run with that vision. That's what you're going to have to do. So don't be afraid to start something because you're worried about what people are going to say, people are going to think. Just do it anyway. You never know. Your newsletter may be the next $10 million newsletter. Who knows? Who knows that? Who knew people would want to know about how to cut their dog's toenails? Who would have known that? And who would have known that you can create that much content around that? Of course, I'm making it up, but I'm sure that there's somebody out there that cut pet toenails all the time, that have a million stories, tools, and techniques to share with you so you can do it at home. Listen, pet nail care at home. Somebody's listening to me right now going, Audrey, stop it. I'm about to go launch that newsletter. Knock yourself out. If you do launch it, make sure to hit me up, because I want to know. I want to know exactly what you started, because I think that'll be funny, but could probably be extremely profitable. Because what I do know, we have a little dog. My daughter has a dog. Her name is Nova. We love Nova. And we had Diamond before Nova. We love Diamond. And we took care of Diamond. The day Diamond passed away, I spent $600 trying to save it that one day, and I still lost it that same day. So we love our pets. We truly love our pets. So that's all I got for you today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last 53 minutes with me, and I love and appreciate you for that. So remember, subscribe to the show, because Tuesdays I'm going to be talking about this newsletter. I'm going to be talking about business and newsletter and how to grow and grow and grow and grow. On Thursdays, I'll probably talk tech. So I'll probably give you some news on Thursdays and a little bit of tech. But on Tuesdays, we're talking business. Talk Business Tuesday. We're talking business moving forward. And then on Wednesdays, of course, if I have a guest, I'll do a power play with a power player. If you missed the show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes. And also, in about 10-15 minutes, there will be a new link for you to subscribe to the newsletter, The Gwinnett Morning Spark. If you want to be inspired every morning at 6 o'clock or after, you want to subscribe to the Gwinnett Morning Spark. All right? That's the newsletter. I'm excited about that. Hey, subscribe to the show. Share the show with your friends, especially this episode. You may want to start a newsletter just for your town. Don't try to do like me. I took the whole county. Unless you can do it. Unless you can commit to 5 days a week like I do already, knock yourself out. It's a lot of work now. I'm not going to front. It's a lot of work. But hey, don't be afraid to start something. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m., God willing. You guys stay safe out there and have a wonderful day. Until tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.